Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Paul Church from Clarity Craft here in the UK.
And my name is Louise from Clarity Craft in the UK as well.
So good afternoon and welcome. We're going to bring you 2 fantastic hours. We've got 2 brand new launches, very, very special indeed. But before we go into that, we're a little bit early to the party. We were so excited.
Excited to get started, weren't we?
We were indeed. So we'll give our friends at home a chance to pull up a chair. The lovely Grace will be in the room with you. If you've got any questions, she's there to help and she'll feed those through to her. Grace is like the voice in my ear, but by text message on my phone. So I can see we've already got some friends in the room over on YouTube and over on Facebook as well. So good afternoon. Lovely weather out there today.
Oh, it's gorgeous, isn't it?
I think spring has sprung.
Thank goodness for that.
Yes. So I hope the weather is lovely wherever you are. It was definitely fresh this morning.
It was fresh this morning, yeah.
It's definitely warmed up a little bit now. So
as soon as the sun's come out.
So there we go. You can see all our good friends in the room. So hopefully the sound is all good. So 2 amazing hours.
Yes.
2 brand new launches. However, for the next 2 hours, that magic number is number 3. Okay, I will explain exactly what we mean by that during the course of these 2 hours, won't we? So,
indeed.
So yeah, I can't believe how many friends we've got in the room already. So I think we should start telling our friends. Okay, so if this is the first time tuning in to Clarity Social TV, there's several ways in which you can order. You can either order via the Clarity Crafts website, which is claritycrafts.com, or alternatively, when we bring you our first 2 hours of the month on a Sunday, we have our lovely call centre in operation, which is Sue downstairs. She's in to man the phones for us, so you can call up and place your order. If you've got any questions, you can give Sue a call. And the telephone number is 01732 868 215. So I thought what we'll do, we'll have a look at the products we're going to be sharing with our friends at home during the course of these 2 hours.
Perfect.
Yeah. Explain about the product code, the description and the pricing. And then we'll break it down step by step. What do you reckon?
I think that's a brilliant idea, Paul.
Okay, so let's have a look at the details on the screen. I'm just going to change my screen so I can bring up the details. Okay, so on the screen there, you can see we have a series of 5 baby plates. So these are A6 square baby plates, okay? These are the floral frames and sentiments plates. Now, these have been designed specifically to work alongside our brand new online 123 online course, which we will go into detail a little bit later on, but I just wanted to share these plates with you. So the item number for this collection is 42470. It's a collection of 5 plates. You've got 4 designs. So you've got best wishes, you've got happy birthday, lots of love, and thank you. And they all have 4 different flowers around them. We've got clematis, poppies, lilies, and peonies. Then you've got a lovely petite alphabet and numbers, which is using the same font that spells out all of those various sentiments.
Which is very useful.
It is perfect for personalization.
Definitely.
So the price for that normally is £29.95. However, for today, we're bringing it to you at a special price of £23.96. So it's 5 for the price of 4. So you're going to get that alphabet for free, if you look at it that way. That's very good. And then if you're in the clubs, you'll also get your additional discounts. Now, Barb blogged about this yesterday, and many of our friends read the blog, took advantage of it, and have already ordered ahead of the show. Now, the other brand new product on the show, this is something that Barbara has been working on in the background for a long time.
Yes.
Let's have a look. So Barb mentioned it was towards last year about 123 online courses. Okay, so we bring everyone the shack on a Monday and Thursday. We do Groovi Tuesday. We do craft alongs. And then towards the end of last year, Barb did some online workshops using those beautiful 12 by 12 canvas boards, didn't she?
That. Yeah, they were lovely. Really good little course, wasn't it?
Yeah, really was. And they proved really popular. So that was sort of in the lead up to this series of 1, 2, 3 online courses. Okay, so what we have on the screen at the moment, the item number for this is 60220. Okay, and this is the first in a series for Groovi and parchment art. Okay, so this is what we're calling the foundation course. So the price on this is £60. There isn't any club discount. However, you do get double loyalty points. So there you go. And you can join in worldwide. So you don't have to be in the UK. You can be anywhere in the world to take part.
That's a good thing about online courses, isn't it? That you can, any place in the world, and you can just tune into either the live or watch the pre-record, and you can watch it at your own time, wherever you are.
Absolutely. So I thought what we'll do is have a look at the plates first, and then when we've got some more friends in the room, because we're 5 minutes in, but there's still many friends pulling up a chair.
Definitely.
So if we'd have a look at the artwork for the plates first, and then that gives our friends at home a chance to get comfortable, because there's a lot to explain on how the course works.
There is, yes. There's a lot to explain and get out, and also as well as looking at all of the design pieces, so
yeah,
to cover.
Absolutely. And if you follow Barb's blog, Barb blogged yesterday and broke it down into more detail as well. So maybe you prefer the written word as opposed to the verbal. So let's have a look at the plates first. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring them in one at a time, okay, because they're all available individually. So we're just going to swap over to that camera. I'm going to zoom in. So if you like the best wishes, the item number for that is 42468. Now these are perfect for your little mini makes as well, aren't they?
They are, yes, mini makes. They are just the right size to go into your coasters as well.
Oh, of course, yes. Yeah, I've got a coaster. Where did I see that coaster? Here we go. I've got one here. Louise has got a cup of tea on it. But you can see there, if I put the coaster over, it's perfect for that, isn't it?
Definitely, yes.
Okay, so this is the best wishes plate. It's using the clematis, and then we've got a couple of bits of artwork. This one's from Julie Campbell. So this takes it exactly how it comes, but swapped over with a different sentiment.
Yeah, which is great, because again, it's personalisation and it's a mix and match, isn't it?
It is, and because you've got that alphabet in there as well, then it's perfect for that.
Definitely.
Then we have a piece of artwork by Glynis. So Glynis has followed the same, taken the best wishes, introduced some of the multi-needle tools.
Yes, that's a Pico V tool, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Very lovely.
Then the next one is from Josie Davidson.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Look at that.
Using the semi-square around the outside.
Yeah. Look at the different results you can get from one plate. Then we have another one. This one's from Carol Pankstello.
Oh, beautiful.
And I love how you can change the colours and to get a different look as well.
Definitely.
So then the next one we'll have a look at. This one's by Hazel. So that's I love that monochromatic look.
Yes.
It works really, really well, doesn't it?
The black with the white line art looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so that's one of the plates in the collection. Okay, so let's just swap those out and bring in the next one. So this is the Lots of Love. So the item number for that, if you would like that on its own, is 42465. Then let's have a look at a few pieces of artwork for this one. So this is using the lilies around the outside. This one here is from Julie Campbell, taking it exactly how it comes. But she's changed it, look, because she's used the alphabet, instead of Lots of Love, I Love You.
Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it?
Then we have another piece by Glynis. Glynis definitely loves her multi-needle tools. That's the Pico V again.
Pico V is lovely, isn't it?
Around the outside. This one from Jill Askham.
Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it? I love how it's made it larger.
Yeah.
But again, using the alphabet plate around the outside for happiness and laughter.
Yeah, absolutely. all the way around there. Then we'll show one more piece of artwork for this collection. This one is from Karen Jackson.
Oh, wow.
That's nice, isn't it?
Snipping in that. Look at
I
that.
know that the perforating.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, so that is that one. Then we'll come into the next one, which is Happy Birthday. There we go. So we've then got the Happy Birthday, which is using the poppies around the outside. Item number 42466. This one from Jane Telford. Very traditional in colour with the poppies. Yeah, the gold on there. Replaced Happy Birthday with the word poppy. I wonder if I can just, there we go, look at that. Isn't that lovely?
Beautiful, isn't it?
Then this one from Josie Davidson.
Ooh,
black makes it stand out, doesn't it?
It really does.
And then another one from Glynis. Look at that.
Lovely bit of white work there.
See, and all these different techniques, this is where the 1, 2, 3 online course is going to come into play, which we'll explain very shortly. But it's going to teach you how to create the foundations of parchment art.
Exactly.
Okay. Then the final one we're going to have a look at is the thank you, which has the peony around the outside. Item number for that is 42467. Some more artwork. That's another one from Glynis. Glynis has taken the plate. Semicircle around the outside. This one here, Jane has created, but this time she's traced it out with a black micron pen.
Yes, I like that look.
It's lovely, isn't it? It gives it a different look completely. Then this one from Jill, where she's painted on the front with some pearlescent paint. And then finally, all colours of the rainbow from Hazel Edwards. So you can see the style of this that we're going to work for so many different occasions.
It is, it really is. And there's so many different styles you can do. So you've got the colourful.
Yeah.
And then there's also the delicate.
So, yeah, and the traditional, so all the different types. Yeah, absolutely. And then finally in the collection, you have the alphabet, the petite alphabet and numbers. Item number 42469. Okay, and you would have seen this used through a lot of the samples, but more importantly, look, these little tags. So you've got a series of little tags on here. Okay, and it's using the sentiments from the plates, because if I bring one of the plates back into play, I don't know whether you notice that in each of the top left hand corners a little circle. So it means you can take that center part to create your little tags.
Yes, definitely. Create a tag to go on your little present and then a matching card to go alongside it.
Absolutely. Right, okay. So that is the plates in the collection, available individually as well. So now this is really the exciting part. This is the 1, 2, 3 online course. Okay. So I've got my crib sheet. There's lots to explain to you. Basically, let me just bring this camera in here. You will receive this A5 booklet. Okay, when you sign up to the 1, 2, 3 course, you're going to get this little booklet. If you want to go for that, the item number is 60, let's bring that up on the screen, 60220. As I mentioned earlier, there's no club discount. However, you will get double loyalty points. Okay. Now, what I've done, just for ease and for the overhead, I've printed this out onto an A4 so we can go through this booklet. Okay, so I'm going to swap this out. We'll go out to the, whoops, press the wrong button. We're going to go out to there. Okay, so what we have here, this is page 1. Remember I said about the number 3?
Yes,
okay.
3 is a very important number. 3
is a magic number. It's 3 plates, 3 dates, 3 skill sets, which will be white work, colour and picot cutting. It will take place on the 3rd day of each week, okay, and it's for 3 weeks, okay, and the live will always start at 1 until 4 on each of those, okay. Now, if you can't tune in live, then you don't need to worry, because we'll do the pre-record and you can go in and watch those afterwards as well. Okay, so the plates have been specifically designed to work alongside not only the foundation stage, but also the other ones we've got coming up.
Yes.
Okay, where we'll concentrate more on white work, the colouring and the pico cutting, because there's so many elements to it, isn't there?
And there's so many,
yeah, there's a lot of different variations. And what we're doing, we're bringing it to you on this fantastic platform. It's called we're calling it the Inner Circle. Okay. Now, Barb tried and tested this when she used the Canvas online workshop. So we know it's going to be perfect for this course. Okay. So what it does with this collection of plates, it's going to help you build your knowledge gradually. I'm reading my notes here because I don't want to get it wrong. Okay. It's going to help build your knowledge gradually and in the comfort of your own home. Okay. As explained, the inner circle is robust. Okay, let me just see. Okay. It's robust, already tested. It's not connected to Facebook.
No.
It's not connected to YouTube. It's a platform exclusively for these classes. Okay. So it's like being part of another family.
Yeah. It's another community, isn't it? And
yeah.
You'll be able to ask questions anytime on this platform as well, and we'll be able to answer. So if you get stuck on anything, we'll be there to help as well.
Absolutely. So emails and invites, when you sign up for this product, emails and invites will go out during the week commencing the 17th of March. Okay, so we're just building all the little classrooms, all the little elements. As Louise said, there'll be a Q&A room in there where you can ask. There'll be the chat room where you can get to meet your fellow students. And then obviously we'll then have the live shows, and then we'll have the pre-records as well.
So not only are you having one class, you're having two, because sometimes when you're doing a live, you'll be answering questions at the same time.
Absolutely.
But on the pre-record, it will be set out in order, straightforward for everybody to learn
Definitely.
from.
Absolutely. And as I said, wherever you are in the world, you can join in. Okay, it's obviously just a time difference wherever you are. And then at the end of the 3-week course, we will then send you another booklet that will give you a certificate of completion together with some lovely artwork from the design team to give you some more inspiration going forward. Okay.
Which is very helpful, because sometimes you need that inspiration because you can make small cards, but you can also make large cards as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's have a look at the booklet in a little bit more detail. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so this is your front page. Okay, then you can see you've got your timetable set out. Then tutors are Louise Golding and Paul Church. So we're going to co-teach together on this one. Then it talks about starting out on your Groovi parchment journey and the objective of the 3-part foundation course. Okay, so it's to provide a comprehensive and enjoyable introduction to the core skills of parchment craft, being white work, colouring and pico cutting. Okay, then we've given you details of the essential equipment for all 3 modules and beyond, i.e. the starter kit, the colouring essentials, because they're going to be used throughout all of the different projects.
Yes.
Okay, then we go on to day 1. So day 1 will take place on the 2nd of April at 1 p.m. Okay, and this is going to be the introduction to white work.
It is, yes.
Okay, so it's that real foundation level. Once you've got the foundation, you can then build and then improve on the various different techniques.
Definitely.
Okay, then we move on to the 2nd week, which is colour. And for those of you that are familiar with colour, we've got pencils, we've got the pergolina pencils, the Pergocolour pens, and the Dorso crayons. Okay, and different ways of using them. Then for the final week, we then move on to the pico cutting. So we've tackled white work, we've tackled colour work in modules 1 and 2, and now we turn to perforating and pico cutting. So whether you've been doing it for many, many years or whether you're just starting out on your Groovi journey, then this is really key, because as I said, it's a foundation course. So it sets it out, and once you've built on that, then you can then take it that step further.
I mean, it's brilliant for beginners, but it's also brilliant if you are intermediate. If you're an intermediate, then you get that chance to be part of a community as well.
That's right.
So you'll be able to chat with your fellow students, but you're all completing a card together. So it's that real sense of community.
That's right. And then we give you an alphabetical ingredient list so you can go through and check that maybe you've got everything. And then it gives you plenty of time that, oh, I need that, or maybe I can work around that. And then what we've also done is we've given you 6 pieces of A6 parchment that you can practice and test during the process of the different techniques during your 1, 2, 3 course.
Yes.
Okay. Then on the final page, then we look at the term timetable for the other projects coming up. So more intense white work, colouring, pico cutting. So we've already set the dates out for the rest of the term.
Yeah, so you'll know what dates you'll be able to make for the white work, colour and pico cutting, but also you'll be able to watch them anytime.
Absolutely. There we go. And then finally talks about the platform in which we're going to present this to you. On the Inner Circle platform, exclusive to the course participants. Once you enroll, you'll be given a code access. And it's like, what it's like, Louise, it's going to be like opening that classroom door.
It is, yes.
Okay. And it's all about, it's not a craft along, it's a course. So it's all about the education and the knowledge.
Exactly.
Because we know, especially with white work, it will take days to complete.
It will, yes. It will be a project, but there will be stages. So we'll show, for example, with the white work, there'll be 5 different bits of parchment, and I will show you each stage, but we'll be going through all 5, 6 stages. Yeah.
Absolutely. So it really is, for me, I wish I had something like this when I first started out with my parchment craft, because I couldn't go traveling and stuff like that. So to be able to do this in the comfort of your own home, I think is fantastic.
It's a game changer, isn't it, really?
Yeah. And when you break down that cost, these are 3-hour sessions. It's £20 a session. You haven't got to travel anywhere. You can just sit at home. If you can tune in, you can have your tea, your coffee, your biscuits, your cake, and you can participate in that live online chat as well.
And you can watch them again and again. So if you forget something, you can always go back and watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe we've moved on to module 3 and you're thinking, oh yeah, but what about this? It's there for you to go back, as you say.
Back and forth. It will always be there for you to go back to.
Yeah, once you've got that key and you've unlocked that door remains unlocked. So I'm really, really looking forward to this and working alongside Louise as well, because I mean, you've been to Linda Williams' classes, you've been to Tina Cox's classes, so Louise has learned from the best as well. So I think this is going to be a great journey, that once we start off on that foundation and then we build it up, I'm really, really excited and looking forward to that.
There's a lot more things to come as well.
Definitely, because Barb's already, if you read Barb's blog yesterday, which is barbaragrayblog.com, Barbara's talked about, she's looking at the jelly plate ones, mixed media, the collage art. So this is just the first in the series of the year ahead.
They're ones I'd want to go on. Jelly plate.
There we go.
Like fun.
So, okay. So hopefully I've got all that through. There we go. So, yeah, the course is going to be available forever. And if you can't make the live sessions, then you can go in at any time. So maybe you've got an appointment on that day when the live's going on. You'll be able to go into that room. You'll be able to watch the pre-record. The pre-record will be available after the live event. And then you can go back and watch the live as well, even though it's no longer live.
Yeah.
So you'll get sort of both different angles on it.
Definitely, and each one will have something that we might have not said in the other one. So you've got a basis of 2 classes in one.
Absolutely. So, right, I'm just going through my tick list that I've got everything covered. I think I've done everything. It really is. There's so much to take on board. And say Barbara's blog, which is barbaragrayblog.com, really does sort of break it down as well. And once you sign up and you get this, you've got time then to digest, take it in, have a look at the ingredients list. We've listed under each of the projects the particular items that will be used, and then you've got that ingredients list at the back that lists everything alphabetically that you can go through. Yep, got that. Yep, got that. And many of our friends at home, Louise, will already have like the starter kit.
Yes.
So they'll have all the essentials that we'll be using week on week on week.
Definitely. And if you don't, then there's time to get those things through.
Definitely.
To start the course.
Okay. Right. So let me just pop all this to one side. We're going to jig around because Louise is going to show us, be working on a demo over the next 2 hours. So what I'm going to do, let me bring up the starter kit, because I think this is where it all starts. It is indeed. So if you're new to Groovi, or you're thinking, what's Groovi all about? Then this is where it all begins. So the item number for this is 42144. Within there, you've got your plate mate, you've got your tools to get going, you've got your tumble dry sheet, you've got your adapter plate that the baby plates that we're bringing to you will fit into. And it really is, once you've got this, we're going to be using it again and again and again. So I've got brain freeze. Right, I need to bring the mouse back over to this side because Louise and I have swapped around. So we'll just recap on the product code. So if you want those plates, the item number for that is 42470, a £5.99 saving for £23.96. If you're a Diamond Club member, that brings it down to £20.37. If you're interested in the first of the 123 online courses, the item number for that is 60220, £60. There's no club discount. However, you will get double loyalty points. Okay, so I'm just going through my text messages. I've got voices in my head. And also, because it's a course, there'll be homework as well. We'll be setting tasks, we'll be setting homework, so things that you can sort of get involved in and then come back and share with us. Within that whole community, there'll be places for you to share what you've done, your findings. As I say, there'll be the Q&A room where you can ask the tutor, Louise and myself, any questions. So Louise will be monitoring that during the however long you're in there for. And it is that special place that isn't on Facebook and it isn't on YouTube. It's that special community where only the students are in there.
They get to share all their artwork and you can come back anytime, watch everything, but you still got that community there as well.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really good.
It is indeed. So what are you going to share with us this afternoon, Louise?
Okay, so today I'm going to be showing this card here.
Okay.
Let me bring in the card and the demo
And this
sheet.
is one of our downloads. So whenever we do a Clarity Social TV show, we do a demo, then we provide you with a download. So it tells you the time of the show, the date, what the project is called, what was made, and then a list of ingredients.
Yeah. And all the codes are there as well.
And all the codes are there that if you needed to top up your supplies.
Exactly. So let me take that, shall we?
Okay.
There.
So what are you going to share with us then? So we've got that card there.
Yes, so let's bring in what we need. So
Okay.
we need our black mat.
Yeah.
My one. And then we'll need our plate mate.
Okay.
Let's bring the up overhead.
There we go.
Perfect. So we'll need the inset. Does that come in the starter kit?
That comes in the starter kit.
Perfect.
It does indeed.
It comes in the starter kit. So to begin with, we are going to need the thank you plate, which is the peony one.
Okay.
We're going to need our angle tool.
Okay, so the item number 4, it's a semi-square you're using, isn't it?
Semi-square.
Louise loves her semi-square and
I do.
her angle. If we come in on that camera to the side so we can see what it looks like at the end. There we go. So you can see there, this is the semi-square tool, and the item number for that is 70021.
Looks like a big Pac-Man eating a little Pac-Man.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Right.
So we're going to use that.
And we're going to need our Groovi tool, or you can use the Pergamano 1mm.
Yeah.
Whichever you prefer. We're going to need blending pens.
Yeah.
I've got 2. 1 needle bulb.
Okay.
Eraser pencil.
Comes in the Colour Essentials kit.
It does indeed. We are going to need Dorso oil.
Yeah.
And very importantly,
the Dorso. Oh, so we're going to be colouring with Dorso crayons.
We will, and I'm going to teach you how to mix colours to create a colour of your choice. So
right.
I decided I didn't want red, I didn't want pink, I wanted like a rose pink. So I'm including red and pink together.
Very nice.
So we'll do that.
So where do we get started?
Right, let me get my bit of paper. So I'm just going to use tumble dry sheet.
Yeah.
I'm just going to wipe on both sides.
Okay.
Just because I find at one point when I use my angle tool, when I turn it over, I'm going to be embossing. So I find it's easier to do that before, because obviously when you want to then use the tumble dry sheet, once you've pierced, you're not going to be able to because you've got those pierced holes in the way. Okay. So I'll use my Groovi sticker tabs.
Yeah. This course, I think, is going to be so exciting. It really, I say, I wish we had something like this when I first started.
Oh yeah, definitely. Right. So yes, let's get started. Where's my? Aha.
We moved everything around. There you go. So you've got your Groovi guard.
Thank you. Very important. So
I'm going to zoom in a little so our friends at home can see what you're up to.
So we're just going to start by just outlining the frame. I'm using the number 1.
Okay. And the reason for using the number 1 on this?
So I like to use the number 1 for the really crisp lines. I think it looks really bright white when you use the number 1. So where are we?
Okay, so we've just had a question come in. So I'm just going to, while you're tracing that out, Louise, we can follow you on the overhead. So some of our friends at home are asking, what are they going to need for this course? If you go to the claritycrafts.com website and you click on the Clarity Social TV page, you'll see there everything that we're sharing with you during the course of these 2 hours, but it's also what you'll be using during the 123 online course as well.
Right, so what I'm just doing now is I'm using the number 2 because I don't want a bright white on my peonies. And if you wanted to colour with pencils on the front, you could always just use even your number 3. That would give you a very faint white line, so it won't show up so much if you're doing your colouring on the front.
Yeah.
So just, I love peonies. I think they're beautiful.
Beautiful flowers, aren't they?
They are, they really are.
I think what we'll do is later on after the show, I will take a copy of the full alphabetical ingredients list, and I will put that into the product information for the 123 online course, which will be under item number 60220. And then it will have that full list there. And then, so that will be where you'll be able to look for all the individual products.
Lovely.
There we go. It doesn't take long to do that. I think this is nice because they're small pieces. These are perfect for your little mini makes, aren't they?
Oh, they really are, yeah. And you don't even have to use the whole one. You could use a little, this is perfect for, I think there was a card that had these on the end of the corners.
Yes, there was, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And when you look, you've got 4 beautiful flowers in this collection. You've got your clematis or clematis, however you wish to pronounce it. You've got your peony, your poppy, and your lilies. Now, for some of our friends at home that have been following us for many a year, will recognise these flowers because these have been illustrated by the lovely Linda Williams.
Yes.
And what Jazz has done, she's taken those flowers to create these beautiful pieces of these new frames to work alongside this foundation course. And these plates, Louise, we'll be using them for several of the courses, and then later in the year we'll introduce some similar designs as well.
Yes, which will be nice because then there'll be a collection of, I expect, 8
yes,
of all the different flowers for you to be able to, and it doesn't stop you from, even with these borders, you can mix and match. So you could have a peony, poppy, you could mix and match and have
of course
4 different flowers in the border. That would look really, really lovely.
And all of these plates, they also have that cutting opportunity, don't they?
Yes.
Do you remember it feels like a couple of months ago where Barb did the craft along with the coaster,
the dragonflies, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. So all of these have that lovely cutting opportunity, which we looked at during the various pieces of artwork from the design team.
Yeah, and I think there was one design sample that even cut into the flower. I think it was the poppy one.
Was it? Did I miss that one? You carry on. I'm going to go through and look at the artwork. Oh, yes. Yeah, we'll have a look at that in a moment. Yeah. Okay, right. So once you've traced out your complete frame.
Yes, I'm getting a bit carried away here.
I know you do.
You go into your own world, don't you, when you do your parchment? You think, before you know it, you've lost 3 hours. You think, where did that go?
So Louise has got a stage that's fully completed with the tracing out.
I have. Okay. As if by magic.
And you can really see the difference in the brightness. There we go. If we just pop that on there, I'm going to zoom in a little now, really come into the detail on that. And you can see the difference in the brightness of the frame, which is a bright white, and the peony, which is a softer line art.
Yes. And again, like I was saying, you could have the you could have the 3 millimeter or the number 3 ball tool.
Yeah.
And you can create that very faint line and do your lovely, beautiful colour work on the front, which
the Francis Knott colouring.
Exactly. Yeah. At some stage, we'll get to the colour pencil work on the front. That will look really lovely.
It will indeed.
Further down the line.
Okay, so we've got our mini grids. What are we going to be using our mini grids for, Louise?
Okay, so for the little, I've used the straight mini grid here, and I'm just creating the little dots in the border here.
If I come in a little bit closer, we can just about see those in that top row.
Yeah, there we go. So that's what we're going to create. So
okay.
I'm going to line up.
So we're still working on the back of our artwork, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
And so it would be a good idea to use your light wave to do the dots because you'll see them come through a lot easier.
Oh, of course, yes.
But I didn't know whether it would be okay.
Just move over a little to your left. There we go.
There we go.
Perfect.
Okay, so use this one.
Use more Groovi tabs to hold everything in place.
Exactly.
So with this peony piece of artwork, Louise, that you're creating and sharing with us, this is covering, you're sort of dipping your toe into each of the 3 core skills, aren't you?
I am.
From the embossing of tracing out, and a little bit of colour work, and then also on this sample, a little bit of perforating and picot cutting as well.
Yes, I wanted to give you, I suppose, a little taster of what we will be covering in all 3 courses. I mean, these flowers would look lovely with the white work, as we've seen from the design team samples.
Yeah,
really beautiful. So I'm just creating the little dots. Again, it's another very therapeutic thing to do.
It is, and this is using the number 2 tool, isn't it?
It is. I'm using the number 2 tool. You could maybe use the 1.5. I don't think it would show up as much.
Yeah.
But this gives you a nice crisp white dot. There we go. So you would do that all of the way around the border.
Yeah.
And also I've done it all around the inside border and across the 2 lines in the middle.
Okay, so you've got one that's fully completed to that stage, isn't it?
Oh yes, but before I go to that next stage, I just want to show you. So using the alphabet plate now.
Oh yes, because you're personalising, aren't you?
Yes, I'm going to personalise it. So you can use, you can put anybody's name in there, or you can put the flower name in there.
So if we just have a look at where I'm going to zoom out a little. There's your your alphabet.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is where we're heading. And so what we've done so far, if I can just bring that over, Louise, just to show. So far, we've traced the outer frame. We've traced the peonies exactly as they come.
Yeah.
We've put the 2 lines in. We've added the dots into the frame around the outside. And now, instead of using the thank you that is on that particular plate, we're now going to personalise it with the alphabet.
We are. So I'm going to bring in my pergoliner, my white one.
Yeah.
I'm just going to move.
There we go.
Don't need that for a little while. Leave that right there for a second. So you can use I'm going to use my ruler.
Okay, so we're on the front of the parchment.
We're on the front. Yeah.
So the ruler is very good because it has those grid lines on it. It means that you can line up and get a perfectly straight line, can't you?
Yes, I don't know if you can see that. I've done it ever so faintly.
Let's come in. It's very, very faint, very subtle. Yeah. No, as long as you can see.
So I would do that. So that's my main line up. So let me get my bits back in.
Okay, so whilst you're just in, I'm just going to come to the front camera, Lou. So we've had a question from Jane Barnes. So Jane has asked, do you have to do the foundation course or can you sign up to some of the other courses later on in the year? You can definitely sign up to the individual courses. So we're starting off with the foundation, which is the 1, 2, 3 foundation course. And then when was the date for the white work, for example? Let me just have a look at my calendar. Let me just have a look. So if you wanted to, where's it gone? So it's the second last. So if you wanted to do the white work course, which will be a series of 1, 2, 3 courses, you can just do that if you want to. If you just want to, and that will be in June. If you're just interested in the colouring, then you can just do the colouring, and that will be in September. And if you're more interested in your picot cutting and your multi-needle tools, then that will be in November. And you do sign up for a series of the 3 1, 2, 3 sessions. So that's what the £60 covers. It covers you for the 3 different weeks, the live broadcast and also the pre-records as well. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to the lovely Jane. Thank you, Jane. Okay.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do before I write peony, I'm in capitals.
Yeah.
Oh, let me bring it down. There we go. I'm just going to write the name peony because it's very easy to make a mistake when you're working back to front.
Oh, of course, because we're spelling backwards, aren't we?
We are, yes. So I'm going to turn it over.
Yeah.
What I like to do first is I like to start in the middle.
Okay, Barb does this with stamping when she's spelling out a word with the alphabet stamps.
Yeah, so it's easier to do that because then you can evenly space out either letter on either side. So I'm just going to measure it in.
Okay, so you've got your pencil line there.
Got my pencil line. I'm going to bring in my Groovi card. So I'm going to do the number 1 tool.
Okay.
There you get that nice
And because you've turned your parchment, because we're now working on the back, you can see your word spelt backwards as well.
Yes. So then I will just quickly change to E. So I'm going to evenly space them out so the letter is on the previous letter in front. So you
I see, yes.
Evenly space out the letters then. And bring in the E.
And the reason you've done the pencil line on the front, because if, for example, you was using a coloured parchment, if you put the pencil line on the back and you rubbed it out, it would remove the colour from the coloured parchment.
Yes, that's learnt behaviour for me. I always do that on the front, just in case, because I do like working on coloured parchment quite a bit. So let's get the P. Now we're going on the N. Oh, hello. Good idea to sometimes put a little Groovi sticker tab over your
just to hold everything into place.
Don't disappear. There we got my N.
So I've done this before, and I say, like, you write it on the front, you turn it over, and because you're talking and showing it at the same time, I've still made mistakes.
Yes, it does. It happens, doesn't it? When you're talking and everything, you're going to your own world, and then you all of a sudden there we go.
There we go. So if we just have a look at that, so now we've got, so this could be any word in the center of that bar, couldn't it?
Yeah. So I know a lot of the design team, they've put happiness, and so you can write anything. You can personalize it and put the flower name. That's a good thing about having an alphabet plate, really.
Okay. So should we just have a little bit of a recap?
Yes.
And then what we're going to move on to next, once we've had a bit of a recap.
Okay. So next we will be. We're
going to be looking at colour next, aren't we?
We will be.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So let's just have a look at the details on the screen for you again. Okay. So if you're interested in this brand new and exciting 123 online course, this is the foundation course for Groovi crafters and parchment art. The item number is 60220. It's £60. There's no club discount. However, you will get double loyalty points as well. If you've got plates you want to use, instead you just want to take part in the course, then you feel free to do that. But we have created a selection of these lovely floral frame and sentiment A6 square Groovi plates. The item number for that is 42470. Normally £29.95. You've got a £5.99 saving, which is the equivalent of 5 for the price of 4, bringing it down to £23.96. If you belong to any of our clubs, for example, if you belong to one club, it brings it down to £21.56. If you belong to 2 clubs, it brings it down to £20.97. And then if you belong to all 3 of them, then that brings it down to £20.37. Okay, so let's just have a look. I'm just getting some updates coming through. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, do you want to do some colouring? And I'm just going to read through these notes, and then what we'll do, so if you make a start on the colouring, I'll read through these notes that have just been sent through. Okay. And then when we get to a convenient point, we'll answer those questions.
Perfect.
Okay. So
let me...
Yep, going to go to the overhead.
So I am going to be using a mix of the red and the pink Dorso crayons, because I wanted more of a rose pink than a light pink on my parchment, which gives you, it will be giving you a darker pink. So I'm just going to scribble out my red and then my pink. So that's ready to go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing the dorso on the back. So let me get my tissue. So I use a tissue for my dorso oil.
Okay.
So let me just...
Shall I zoom out a little?
Oh yes, thank you.
There we go.
So I'm just going to show you, usually when I'm doing dorso, I kind of turn it like that and then almost create a little piping bag shape.
Yeah.
which can give you a nice sharp point. So I'm going to just dab a little bit of Dorsal on my tissue.
So you're putting that straight onto the tissue.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just going to create a nice little fine film of Dorsal on top, which helps the Dorso blend a bit better. So there we go.
Okay.
So now what I'm just going to do is one blob on each colour. And I'm just going to mix these two together.
Okay. So in the foundation course, we're going to be starting off with the pergoliner pencils, and then we'll be going into more detail of the other colouring techniques when we come to that session in September. So we'll look at the pergoliner pencils, we'll look at the Pergocolour pens, and then we'll also look at the Dorso crayons in more detail as well.
We will, yes.
Okay.
And that's the good thing about all of the different classes will be that you'll be able to learn all of these different skills.
So you're building up your depth of colour on this one.
I am. Yeah.
And this is, I think, what the crayons were created for, weren't they? Was to give that sort of large coverage of colour.
Exactly. You have your pergoliners for, I mean, you can use your pergoliners for large areas. But that's the good thing about the Dorso. The Dorso crayons go for such a long time as well. I mean, I've had these for ages.
And they hardly look used.
And they hardly look used, no. But I use them all the time. So now let's just blend it.
So whilst you're doing that, I will answer some questions. Okay. So let's have a look. So I'm going to come back to the front camera while you're doing that, Lou. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. So this is great. I love this. This is real interaction because I can't see the chat because we're concentrating on sharing everything with you. So let's have a look. The plates are separate. The course is what you're doing is you're paying for the knowledge and you're paying for the tuition. And it's a series of 3 different weeks. You can go back and watch them again and again. The pre-records will be available after each of the live sessions. So say, for example, you buy the course today, but you can't make any of those dates in April, then what you can do, maybe your calendar's full up for April. You can come back in May and you can watch them. You can come back in June, you can come back in July. You can just keep going back and watching them again and again. Maybe when we bring out the next collection, maybe you're thinking, right, well, I want to get that one, but I haven't done this one yet. It'll be a completely separate classroom, so to speak, that you can jump into and you can jump out of, and you can sort of mix and match all the various different techniques. The plates are separate to the course, as I've mentioned a little while earlier. For example, maybe you've got some plates and you think, right, I want to use those instead. You're more than welcome to do that. But what we did was we designed, I say we, Jazz and Barb worked together on these because these were felt to be the perfect type of plate that will work across all the various different techniques.
Definitely, yes. That is the good thing about these. Like you said, we're teaching in the class, we're teaching the techniques. The plates are perfect to just show those techniques because there's not a great big area and all of the different bits to go alongside it. But you can use all the techniques you've learned on anything that you have.
Yeah, it's just that starting point, isn't it?
That is what the course is for, is to teach you the basic skills and then go further into the white work, the colour, the picot cutting, to then use on all of your future projects. Yeah,
and it is sort of, you're building that foundation, and you always need that foundation to start rather than thinking, right, I've got to do this. It's still part of that same bus journey, isn't it, that Barb often talks about, where you get on the bus, you trace out your line art, then you're confident, right, now I want to do that. So we've always shared in Groovi Tuesday and in the craft alongs, but now what we're doing, we're personalizing it, we're concentrating on specific techniques. Now that Louise has come on board, this is the perfect opportunity for those 1, 2, 3 courses, isn't
Definitely. It is. It's a really good idea of Barb's to do, because, you know, not just for parchment, but all of the other things that Barbara will do.
Absolutely.
But parchment, there's a lot to learn. There's
Yes.
a lot of, you know, the white work. There's a big skill set to learn all of the techniques. The Groovi gives you the basic line art, but then all of the techniques, there is a lot of different techniques to learn. You know, it goes further into shadow embossing for the white work and colour pencil work on the front. And then you have all of the picot cutting and the tool work. So there's so many things to learn. And I think learning from Linda and Tina, it gave me such a thirst that I wanted to learn more. So I used to teach myself at home and do homework after going to the Linda's workshops as well.
That's right. And this is all completely sort of structured. It's modules, so it's like tick boxes. Right, I've done this, I can tick that box. I've done this, I can tick that box. And now it's that satisfaction, isn't it, of being able to master and sort of like nail those techniques and go, you know what, I've done that.
Exactly.
And then that's when you can then move on and then start looking at it in more detail, especially with the white work. What is white, what is embossing? It's all about sort of like whether you're tracing out with the tools, whether you're using the ball tools, the shader tools, the hockey stick.
Exactly.
It's all about the different ways of using it. And then once you've got that knowledge, incorporating it with your other designs you have in your collection.
Definitely. And as you go further along down the line, we'll be using all of the different tools. You know, we have them here, so it's a good idea for everybody to learn how to use them. Yeah.
And believe it or not, people are asking our friends at home, is there going to be a Christmas themed one as well? I'm sure when we bring out one of the later collections, there will definitely be a Christmas element in there as well. And you know what's another good idea? What's behind me? Look, this is perfect. Because one, I need to turn over into March, because we're in March now. Okay, but this is a great way. This is the Linda Williams calendar. I don't know if I've got the item code on here. Item number 31715. So this would be a perfect way of recording, marking down on here as a reminder when the courses are coming up. It will be the 2nd of April. It's on the front of the product that you can sign up for. And then when you get that, what we'll do is we'll create another document of future courses with the dates as well on what they will cover. So maybe you're going on a holiday or something, and you think, oh, I don't want to miss those. So you can mark them into your calendar as well.
And I'm going to mark them in my calendar too.
Yeah, I always forget to turn this out. I can't believe we're in March already.
I know, it's gone so quickly.
And let's just have a look at this piece of artwork, if we may. This is March, and this piece of artwork from Linda Williams. This is in the greenhouse.
Yeah, that's beautiful, isn't it? And this is what eventually we'll learn, is all of the colour work on the front as well.
Yes, in that colouring 1, 2, 3 course.
It's so intricate, isn't it?
Yeah, but absolutely.
Colour on the back as well as on the front. So
beautiful. There we go. Right, so let's get back to the colouring on this with the Dorso crayons.
So we've done the Dorso, and this is my next stage, so it's all nice and dry.
Yeah.
I have got my...
If we put a piece of white paper behind there, Louise, will we see that colour in a little bit more detail?
See it pop. Ooh.
There we go. So obviously the line art's quite faint, but you can see now how you've got that intensity of colour, which, and then if we bring Louise's one in, is then enhanced with the companion paper behind it, isn't it?
Yes, and I'll show you everyone later with the finished piece how different papers can affect the artwork at the end stage.
Yes.
So let me go. So okay. We've got that bit done now.
So the colours applied on the back with the Dorso crayons.
It is indeed. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my purple.
So we're still working with the Dorso crayons, which are on your screen at the moment. Item number 70475. That gives you your lively and your natural colours together with some Dorso oil, £20.99. And as Louise showed you, she's been using. So how long have you had your Dorso crayons, Louise?
Quite a long time. I would say I've had these for 2-3 years.
2-3 years, and it doesn't look as if.
No, I mean these I use all the time, and the red and
amazing. Yeah.
You only need a little bit. Okay, so I've got my blending pen.
Okay.
And my nib. I need that. And a spot-on sponge.
Super.
Because I'm going to put a little bit of Dorso oil on my spot-on sponge.
Okay.
And just going to pick up some.
So now you're taking the Dorso crayons to intensify the colour on the flowers.
I am, yes.
Right, okay.
So we'll just go over each petal.
So you don't need to worry about removing the colour because you're using the same colour palette?
Yes. Yes, so just a little dot in there. It blends the colour a bit better then. There we go.
And the Dorso crayons will be covered in the colouring 1-2-3 course, which will be in September.
Yes. I think we're doing the pencils, aren't we, in the foundation?
We are indeed. Pencils are a good place to start.
Definitely. And then further down the line, we'll be using the Dorso crayons and the B's and
colour
the
pens.
Poker colour pens, yeah. And then we can also learn how to use the B's and A's together, so create a lovely painting on parchment effect. Like
Francis Knott
creates. Yeah, and Gail Sidman, she used to do some lovely painting on parchment. But yeah, some lovely.
So you're just using the Dorso oil with the blending pen on the nibs, just to build up your colour on the back.
It's like a darker.
So we'll put a piece of white behind there. We'll be able to see the difference on those. There we go. So we can see how it's starting to build up in colour now.
We are, yeah. So it will start to become a bit more pink. It depends how much you would like to, the intensity of what you'd like. If you want it very faint, you wouldn't need to use a lot.
So if we have a look at the piece where we're heading towards, you can see here how the colour is gradually built up.
Yes, and I've used some pergoliners on the front, which we'll do in a minute, and that will intensify the colour even more.
Right, okay.
So
there we go. I'll just come forward a little.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
That's good. Yeah.
And when you're using the Dorso crayon, you can build up the layers on top as well, can't you?
You can, yes. If let it dry, and then once you've let it dry, you can then put some more colour on. But that's just like a one layer.
Yeah.
You can go back in and go over it once it's dry, and that will give you a bit more, a more intensified colour.
And if you put colour in the wrong place, I'm guessing, would I be right in thinking that you can use your eraser pencil to remove or knock back the colour as well?
Yes, you can. So you could use the eraser pencil for quite a lot. So let me show you. I've got one here actually. So let me just do it on here. This is the white end of the eraser pencil,
which comes in that colouring essentials kit, which I will bring up on the screen for you now. So this will be one of the things that you will need for that 1-2-3 course, because it's got the Dorso oil in there, it's got your spot-on sponges, it has your mix mats, some blending nibs, and that double-ended eraser pencil.
Yeah, so you can see using the white, it's completely taken that colour off. So if you wanted, for example, if you put the Dorso oil with the Dorso crayons onto a petal, you could then use this as to take away the colour on the front.
Right.
So it kind of gives you a little bit of a
sort of a shading effect.
Yeah. So you would have lighter on the top.
Just put a bit of white paper under there, Lou, just so we can see that.
Paper back.
So there we go. So we can see where the colour's been removed here, and then how Louise has just taken, if I zoom in a little bit, there we go. You can see how you've just taken some of that colour away from the top of that petal. Yeah. Excuse me. I mean, Louise is using quite light colours as well. So when you look at the colour palette that comes in that Lively collection, it might be the red, it could be, you've got that beautiful purple in there, the green, etc.
Yeah, so there's lots of different colours you can use. So I would do the purple all the way around.
Yeah.
Which would then give you this stage here.
Okay.
So I've done a purple all the way around on the back.
Can we put that white bit of paper under again, please? Right. Oh, yes, you can definitely see that now, can't you?
Yeah.
So you've got that subtle sort of, that was the pink and purple mixed together to create the background.
This was pink and red.
Oh, pink and red, sorry.
Yeah, pink and red for the background to make like a rose pink.
Yeah.
And then I've used the purple Dorso crayon for the flowers.
Okay, and that's been done on the back.
On the back of the
So yeah, so we can definitely see where we're heading. And it doesn't matter that you can't see any of the line art at this point, can you? Because this is on the back of your work.
Exactly. So it doesn't need to look neat on the back because you won't see that.
Okay.
So we've got to that stage. So now let me move this out of the way.
Okay. While you have a bit of a tidy up, Lou, let's have a look at the details that we're bringing to our friends at home. So you've got your complete collection of these lovely baby plates, item number 42470. The floral frame and sentiments A6 square Groovi plate collection. Louise will be concentrating on 3 of those flowers during that new online 1-2-3 course. Louise will be using the clematis, the poppy, and also the lilies to showcase the foundation of this course, and the foundations being from your white work, your colour, and your pico cutting. And whatever Louise does on, say for example, if Louise decides to share with us on the clematis, the colour, that can be replicated in any of those plates or any of the plates in your collection. When it comes to doing the white work, again, exactly the same. If Louise decides to show us the white work on the poppy, that can be done on the clematis or the lilies as well. And likewise with the pico cutting as well. So Louise is sort of dabbling with the peony, you're dabbling into the various different techniques to bring us this lovely piece of artwork. But it all stems back to that 1-2-3 online course that you can join at any time. Okay. So where are we going now, Louise?
So I've got my B pencils.
Yeah.
I've got the B14 and the B5.
Okay.
It's like a pink and a purpley colour.
Yeah.
So I just thought I will use the pink first. What I'm going to do with the pink is I'm just going to frame all around the box here, the inside box.
Okay.
So it makes it, I suppose, gives it a little shadow effect, like it's sitting on top of.
And I'm guessing because I can read the word peony the right way round, we're doing this on the front of our artwork.
We're using the front of our artwork now. So we've done the dorso on the back.
Yeah.
And now with the B pencils, I'm going to be working on the front.
Okay.
And just.
So you're not worried about going over the lines of the petals?
No. So I'm just going around the whole box, not worried about if I'm going over the lines, because it's going to look like a bit like a matting and layering effect.
Okay.
But just create that little.
It's the illusion, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It pushes it out a little bit.
Yeah.
So then what we can do is I'm just going to use pencil work on the front.
Okay.
Same kind of technique as we use with the embossing. We're kind of just pushing and flicking.
Okay. I wonder if I come in on the other camera. Let's have a look. See if we can go there.
So the same with the embossing is I'm just using a flicking motion. And this is just so we're giving the peony some depth, because at the moment it's a very flat colour.
Okay.
So I'm just using the pink at the bottom. I'm using quite long strokes with the pink, because then afterwards I'm going to come in with the purple. Just like so. So this gives it, this is more or less like the middle colour, the intermediate colour. So we've got the outer colour is going to be lighter than the inside of the petal. So giving it some depth.
And you're taking each petal one at a time?
Yes. And I'm being careful of the white lines now. So I'm not going over any of the white lines at all.
Okay.
So
a nice sharp pencil is recommended for this part.
Yes, I've just sharpened it.
Okay. And it's amazing, just by, you've got that colour from behind that you sort of, in a way, you've put sort of like your undercoat on, haven't you?
I have, yes.
And now on the front, what you're doing is you're building up your layers.
I am. So just using a flicking motion, because then it kind of disappears into the previous colour when you do that.
Okay.
So now I've used the pink. I'm going to go in with the...
So if we just have a look on the overhead first to see where we've got to at that point.
Of course.
So if I come in a little bit now so we can sort of see we're in close. We put a little bit of white paper onto there just to show where we've been. So we can definitely see the difference now on that centre one, can't we?
Yes. So I've just used the pink one.
Yeah.
And just flick some colour into that. So yeah, it does look...
So you can definitely see the difference between there
and there.
And there. Yeah.
So now I'm just going to go in with my purple.
Okay.
So I won't be bringing the purple in as the longer strokes as the pink. So
this is sort of just shorter strokes, more at the base of the flower.
Yeah. So just at the base, just to give it a bit more depth.
This is quite sort of relaxing just watching this, just with the colour application and how you're going to take each flower individually.
Yes, and it's, like you say, it's very relaxing to do as well.
And I suppose peonies, they can be any colour, can't they? I'm sure there's many colours of peonies out there.
Yeah, definitely beautiful flowers. I like peonies.
And it's a nice selection of flowers in this collection. You've got your peony, your clematis, your poppy, and your lilies as well.
So lots to choose from. For every mood.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on the colourways as well. Does that mean lilies are perfect for sympathy, for different occasions? Okay, so let's come back on the overhead then.
So I've used the purple, not as longer strokes as the pink. So it's kind of giving it a bit more depth, a bit of a...
Yeah, you can definitely see the difference from the other ones where you haven't added any colour to the front at all.
Yeah, so I would do that all the way around.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get into the tool work now.
Okay, before we get into the tool work, what I'd like to do, Louise, is I'd like to show some more of the artwork from those plates.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Okay, so what we'll do, I'm going to bring up the pack shot so we can have a sort of a bit of a jig around. I'll give Louise a chance to sort of just clear a little bit of space and we can swap places. Musical chairs here. So that 123 online course, the item number for that is 60220. Foundation course for Groovi crafters and parchment art, £60. You get double loyalty points. It doesn't matter where in the world you are, you can take part. If you can't tune in live, then you can go back. They'll be available after the broadcast. You can go back and watch them. And also the pre-record will be available at the same time as well. And then plates designed to work alongside this collection, item number 42470, and the price on that is £29.95. You've got a £5.99 saving, bringing it down to £23.96. Now, if we look at these individually, and we'll have a look at the three that Louise will be showcasing during that 123 online course. So the first one that we're going to be looking at will be the clematis.
Yes, this is going to be the white work course.
Okay, for the foundation level.
The foundation level, yes.
Okay, so item number for that is 42468. So maybe depending on budget, you can only afford some of the plates to add to your list. Clematis will be the one where Louise will be sharing a foundation level of white work. Item number 42468, and we have some artwork here from Jane Telford. Jane's coloured in rather beautifully, and then Pico. This is where those cutting opportunities come into play. You can see there what Jane's done. She's Pico cut in between each of those different flowers.
We've got all three skill sets in here, haven't we? We've got the white work in the scallops, you've got the lines, and you've got the colour.
Yeah, and then you've got your Pico cutting as well. Then we've got this piece from Julie Campbell. I'm going to, there we go, look at that. Wow. So it's a frame within a frame, isn't it? So what Julie's done, she's taken the original plate, used, I'm guessing she's used the nested Pico squares to make a larger frame, and then just taken the designs and spread it around the outside.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
Then we've got this one from Hazel Edwards. So this one is the monochromatic. I'm guessing that is the nested squares and that technique that Barb did many moons ago to create those panels around the outside. Then this one from Carol Pankstello, and she's perforated to push the design forward and push the background back.
Yeah, that's lovely, and some lovely tool work as well there.
Yeah, and this one from Josie. So this will be, this type of white work will be covered in the white work course, won't it?
It will be, yes.
Later on in the year. Then this one from Glynis. So you can see how you can mix and match all the different designs as well from the sentiments. And because you've got that alphabet included, then as Louise has shown us, you can then personalize like Peony or Paul or Barb or Dave or Louise or Lou or Sue, whatever will fit into that space.
Rhyming now.
And then, and then finally this lovely piece from Julie Campbell. So that's one of the plates. If you're interested in the clematis, the item number for that is 42468. Then the next one in the collection is going to be the poppy. So the item number for this on its own is going to be 42466. And what technique are we going to do with the poppy?
This is going to be the colouring technique.
Okay.
So, using our pergoliners we'll be doing with this plate for the foundation course.
Great. Okay. Then, so we've got this one here from Jane Telford, which we saw earlier. You use that lovely metallic gold paint on the front. Then this one, Josie Davidson. You've got the black in the background. That's been dorsoed black in the background and then coloured in red to really make it stand out. This one from Glynis, so that shadow embossing technique. So that'll be in one of the more advanced white work courses.
It will be, yeah.
And then this one, this was the one Louise was mentioning earlier. This is from Carol Baker, where she's actually Pico cut inside each of those petals. So that would be in the more advanced Pico cutting courses later in the year.
Yes, that would definitely be a bit more advanced. And it is beautiful how she's gone around the inside of the flower.
Yeah, it's a very sort of a beautiful technique. And then the final one that Louise will be sharing with us is going to be the lilies, the Lots of Love lilies. Item number for this is 42465. So this will be the third plate that Louise will be concentrating on during the course of that brand new, was it that one, or have I got it wrong?
No, this one actually, sorry, pardon me, is the colouring.
So Lily's is the colouring, and the poppies is going to be picot cutting.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got your lots of love on this one. This piece by Karen Jackson.
Wow.
Look at that white work.
That is beautiful, and the picot cutting.
And the picot cutting as well. Then this one by Jill Askham, where Jill's taken an extended frame. She's used the alphabet to personalise by adding the word happiness and laughter. Then we've got this one from Glynis, using the multi-needle tools. Glynis does love a lovely Pico V.
Oh, yes, she does.
I think that's one of her favourite tools. Julie Campbell.
I love the colour scheme on this. This is beautiful.
Yeah, subtle colouring, just a little bit of white work just to bring those centres out. Then we've got this one from Jane. Jane's taken that same idea of taking the frame as it comes and then extending it just to create sort of central points. And then this one, this masterpiece from Jill, I'm going to zoom out on this one. Hang on, it's come out so you can really see the beauty of this.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
So one of Josie's grids around the outside.
And it shows that you can do bigger cards just as much as you can do little cards.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and then we know it's Jill because Jill always paints with pearlescent paint on the front.
Yeah,
and then a little bit of grid work in there. So you can really see how much value you can get from this whole collection, whether you just want to go for the plates on their own or whether you want to get them in conjunction with the brand new 123 online course.
Yeah, it's a good starting point with these plates to do them just as they come.
Yeah.
But then it's another thing to then go further with all of your techniques in the future, creating that lovely grid work in the future as well.
And I mean, that's the whole basis of the foundation course, is that maybe you've been doing it for a couple of months now and you're thinking, right, I'm ready to move on, but I don't know where. And so to have this, it's that Barb calls it the inner circle, because it is that classroom. It's a platform that we will use specifically for the classrooms. It's not Facebook, it's not YouTube. And once you sign up to that, you've got the keys to the door. And as long as you don't lose those keys, you can keep going back in. And so maybe you sign up for the foundation and then the next one gets released and you're thinking, oh, I'm not quite ready for that. Then don't worry, because it will still be available afterwards. Or maybe you're thinking, okay, budget doesn't allow it this month, but I know next month it's my birthday. So even if the course has already started, it doesn't matter, because you can go back and watch them at any time.
It's a present that keeps on giving, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
like
that's
the clubs, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's something you can go back to. You always have that knowledge there for you. If you've bought it and you've got it forever then.
And I suppose Mother's Day is coming up very soon, isn't it?
It is.
So this would be a fantastic Mother's Day gift that will just keep on giving throughout the year and years to come as well.
Yeah, because sometimes you can forget a technique. If you haven't used it in a while, you start to use it again in practice. You think, oh, how did that work?
Yeah.
And then you can go back to your course and watch, you can watch the live one or the pre-record, So.
That's right. And maybe you've got some plates in your collection that once you've got that foundation behind you, and then you're thinking, well, I bought those plates, maybe it was in the half price member sale, or I bought them when they came out, because you saw a beautiful piece of artwork and you wanted to be able to replicate that. Once you've got that under your belt, you can then say, right, I'm going to get those plates out now, and now I'm going to put into practice what I've learned.
Yeah.
So that's 3 of the plates that Louise will be concentrating in during the course, but there is a 4th one in that collection, which is the peonies. So this is the thank you peonies. So if you just want to go for those, the item number for that is 42467. And then we'll have a look at some more artwork on this one. So this is a piece by Carol Pankstello. I love on the pink with the craft card.
That is a Beautiful combination, isn't it?
There we go. I'm going to bring this in on this one because it's very soft and subtle. Let me see. Look at that. Ooh, there we go.
Wow.
Isn't that lovely? So very similar to what Louise has been showing us, where you've got, I mean, Louise hasn't done any white work. Louise has used pencil to introduce that. And look, you've got some lovely perga glitter on there as well.
I love a bit of glitter.
Okay, so that is that one from Carol. Then we've got another one from Karen Jackson, using another of Josie's grids. This is from the Grid Starter Kit. This is the basic grid. I think this one's the oval.
Yeah, that's beautiful, isn't it?
Then we've got another one from Carol Baker. And I believe this is from Linda Williams, I think. One of the layering.
Celtic, is it?
Might be the Celtic one. But again, very subtle. I bring it in on this camera here, so you can really see. Look at that. Yeah. I'm coming a little bit closer. There we go. Look, can really see. So if you're thinking at home, oh, I'd love to be able to learn these different techniques, then this is really where the foundation course comes into play. This one from Hazel, very vibrant. I'm guessing Hazel's used the Perga colour pens to do those because of the vibrancy. This one here from Jill Askham with that pearlescent paint on the front. And then another one from Jane Telford. This is a technique that Barb loves, the black line art.
It looks really lovely, doesn't it?
It does. It really makes the flowers stand out. I'm going to bring it in on this one.
I like that technique.
It's really nice, isn't it? Where you've taken the Groovi plate is a traditional. I wonder whether Jane traced it out first and then went over freehand.
And there's some white work on the edge of the petals, isn't there?
Yeah, just to give it a little bit of depth.
Yeah, it's lovely, those.
Really lovely. Okay.
So mesmerising, all of the samples.
I know.
It's like, ooh.
And then another one from Glynis, and she's used the semicircle to go around the corners. And then finally, in the complete collection, which is also available individually, is the alphabet. Right across the camera, Luke. Let's pop those to there.
I thought it'd be stealthy. Didn't work.
No. So item number 42469. Great for your little tags. So you got happy birthday, happy 4th birthday. You can take lots of love. I'm reckoning a lot of these. Yep, Glynis. Thank you. A little bit of colour blending behind there. Another one from Glynis. This one from Hazel. So great little tags, aren't they?
I just wanted to show you something as well.
Yeah.
I created this tag the other day.
Okay.
And I've actually used the alphabet to create the little scallops.
Oh, right.
Around the box. So not only can the alphabet be used just as it is.
Yeah.
But there's elements on there. So like I've used the D and the B to create the little scallops
like a
around
scallop.
the box. Yeah.
Ah, that's very clever.
And then just the little clematis at the top.
Very nice.
So it's using the alphabet plate in more ways than one.
Yeah, I suppose you can. Yeah, and you've got the alphabet on there. Yeah, that's really, it gives a different look to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So that's really, really lovely. And then I think what we'll do, we'll just have a look at the booklet in a little bit more detail. So we'll go to the A4 version. And just, I think I've got all those pages there. I don't think I've, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay. So let's have a look at, in a little bit more detail. We're going to zoom out and we'll bring that in there. So you're going to get a A5 version. So you're going to get a little booklet like this. I've just blown it up for ease. You're also going to get 6 sheets of A6 parchment, which you can use to practice your techniques during the 1, 2, 3 course. So to practice your colouring, your white work. Okay. So Wednesday the 2nd of April, Wednesday the 9th of April, and Wednesday the 16th of April. Okay. So then we will go in. Barb explains exactly the objective of the foundation course. And we've put some description on the product itself. So go to the product and have a read up as well. The essential equipment for all 3 modules and beyond, because this starter kit keeps on giving time and time again.
Definitely.
Then we look at module 1, which is where we work with the clematis and we look at the white work. We'll learn how to emboss crisp white lines, how to emboss seamless bright white button flowers. So various different, it's like it is that foundation and an introduction, isn't it?
It is,
yes. And then what we're going to do, I'm just going to flick that over there. And it tells you what's going to be used in that project underneath. Then we move on to day 2, which will be the following week. This is where we start to look at colour. Starting at the beginning with our pergolina B pencils for blending in dry and in combination with the Dorso oil.
Yes, I think that's a good starting point to learn, because the pergolina B pencils can be used with the Dorso oil. It's a very easy technique to learn.
Yes, absolutely. Again, what will be used for that project. Then the final part, module 3, which is your picot cutting. So once again, we're developing additional 1, 2, 3 courses for this vast subject, which embraces multi-needle tool work, lace work and grid work. So that will be later on in the year, which will be, if I turn over, this will be in November. So there's lots of time for you to learn in between as well.
Yes, so there's a lot of time between the white work and the colour to get your white work, watch those shows again and again, get your white work under your belt, and then you can start your colour, and then as you go on, you've just got all of the techniques there.
There we go. And then this full ingredients list, what we will do, I will take this, I'll probably do it in the morning. No, I'll do it before I go. I'll take this list and I will add it into the product information for item number 60220. Won't take long. I'll do that and just add that in. So that if you're looking to take part, then you can have a look at what you already have in your collection. And then finally, how it all works. So this is where the Inner Circle platform comes into play. And it's all about sort of like the classes. It's that key to open the door. And you will receive an email during the week commencing the 17th of March with that key to let you in. Okay, and then once you're in, you can meet your other students. And what it does, it gives you an opportunity to go in. I suppose it's like going when you go to college. You go to sort of like an open day, don't you, to see what it's all about and stuff like that. And then you turn up for your first day and you're thinking, oh, I've got to start to learn. You'll have a couple of weeks to go in there, chat amongst yourselves with the other students, ask questions in the Q&A area that myself and Louise will be monitoring. So if you've got any questions before the course starts, do I need this? Could I use that? Etc. Then we're there to help. I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
And it's getting used to the system itself, where is each,
each different room and everything else. So I think it's going to be such an enjoyable experience. And for many of our friends at home that have already been into that Inner Circle with Barb's online workshops with those canvas walls, which again are still available. You can purchase those, even though they were last year, you can still purchase those and go back in and enjoy those as well, because the recordings are still there, the live hours, and also that pre-record as well. And then I think finally, if we just come back on here, you've got the plates that we'll be using. And then again, it says, can't make the live, you can catch up anytime on the pre-record or the live session. Wow, there's so much value in this. That's £20, that's £20, that's £20. But it does give you a real good introduction and that foundation for that, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you'll be learning the basic techniques before we then go into the project. So, how much pressure to put on. The pressure the difference between the black mat and the purple mat, on the pink mat. There's so many different things we'll need to learn before then we go into the project. But those 3 hours are going to be absolutely cram-packed with lots of information.
Yeah. And as I said, 3 is definitely that magic number.
It is.
Okay, 3 plates, 3 skill sets, white work, colour, picot cutting. It's always going to be on the 3rd day of the week, and it's over a 3-week period. And it's just that sort of just bringing it all together.
Easy to remember, isn't it? 3, 3, 3.
3, yeah,
three,
all
three,
the
three.
threes, so to speak. Right, I'm going to bring the pack shot back up so that me and Louise can do a little dance and move around. So there we go. So let's have a look. So pull up a chair again and get comfortable. So item number 60220, the 123 online course. This is the foundation course for Groovi crafters and parchment art. £60, double loyalty points, and no club discount on these, and it's available worldwide. I know we've had some friends from Germany and the USA have already signed up to this already. Then if you're interested in the plates, the item number for that is 42470. Price is £29.95. You've got a saving of £5.99, bringing it down to £23.96. And if you're in the club, you then get your club discount. What else have we got to share with you? How about that colouring essentials kit? Dorso oil, spot on sponges, you've got your double-ended eraser pencil, you've got your blending nibs, and you've got your mix mat, which you've seen Louise use during the course of this afternoon show. Item number for that is 70431. Normally £20 and 97 pence. You've got a £3 saving, bringing it down to £17.97 plus your club discounts. Then Louise has been using the Dorso crayons during these hours. 70475. You've got your lively and your naturals with some more Dorso oil. £20 and 99 pence. I'm forgetting my numbers. I've got this thing for numbers at the moment. Then if you want to stock up on your pencils that we'll be using in the foundation course, then the item number here is 70063, and they're £29.99 plus club discount. Okay, let's just have a look. So before we move on, we just had a message come through. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so Richard Gray asked, if I wanted to do the picot cutting module, would it have to be ordered and paid for now? So the picot cutting one, we haven't made the other ones available just yet. I'll speak to Barb afterwards and see when we're gonna, we did say we would sort of release them gradually, but it's possible that we may be able to make those available next week for the ones that are coming up throughout the year. So we'll have that discussion. But the foundation is that group of 3, which is available now. But we shall ask that question. Okay, so Louise, where are we going now?
Okay, so, and the good thing I was just going to say about the pergoliners is, and the Dorso oil, is because you can mix the colours then. On your mix mat, you can scribble out a bit of colour, and those, is it 16B pencils?
16B pencils,
can be a range of all sorts of different colours. So that's the good thing about the pergoliners, and we can go into that in our
colouring foundation.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, so
let's have a look then on this camera.
So this is the stage we're at the moment. We've done our pencil work.
Yeah.
So now is the time that we're going to bring in our semi-square.
Okay, which we have on the show.
Which we do, yeah.
So the item number for the semi-square tool, I shall bring that in there, is 70021. And it's one of our fantastic Pergamano multi-needle tools. And Louise often goes for the semi-square and the angle tool.
I do.
And if we have a look, I'm going to bring this, see if I can bring this in on the close-up camera so we can see. Hang on, if I hold it there. There we go. So you can see that is the image at the end of the tool. And then if I spin that round, we can see all the needle tools. It's like a triangle, isn't it?
It is.
But it has so many different uses as well.
It's got 10 little needles on it.
10. So, Louise has just had a quick count.
Lots of needles.
There's a lot of needles there. Okay.
And it gives that lovely lace effect as well.
Which is what you've created on this piece of artwork here. So if we come in on that one, so what it's done, it's created that edge against the frame and then around the outside.
Yeah, so I've used it inside, so I've only just pico cut 3 inside.
Okay.
But you can also use it around the edge, which gives that effect as well.
Okey-doke.
So I'm gonna I've got a piece here that I've nearly finished.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna need to nick my.
Okay. Are you going super foam or are you going pico foam?
I'm going pico foam.
Okay. Why would you go pico foam rather than your super foam?
So my pico foam first is because I only want to do shallow perforations.
Okay.
So I'm going to use tumble dry sheet underneath.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it this way actually. There we go. So also what you can do is you can prep your perforating needle by just putting it through the tumble dry sheet a few times. That lubricates the needle so it's easier to go through.
Okay.
So now, also a good thing about the all of the Pergamano tools is that there's a little dot.
If I come in on this camera, we can show it to.
There we go.
Yeah.
A little dot on either side. So there's one on the front and one on the back.
Okay.
So that helps you to guide where you're going. So let me go back to number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to bring in my Groovi guard. There it is. Right. So I'm just going to.
Okay, so I'm going to come in on this side camera so we can see.
Oh, yes.
There we go.
Let me move my fingers out of the way. So what I'm doing with the angle tool is the end needle. I'm going into the previous hole of the last needle from the.
Okay, and they're longer, aren't they, than the rest of the needles? So
they're slightly longer, so you can easily use them to guide the needlework. So there we go. So you can find it easily. I'm only just shallow perforating just for now.
So why would you shallow perforate rather than deep perforate?
So I want to shallow perforate because I'm actually going to be doing some little embossing.
Okay, so let's have a look at that on the overhead before we go any further.
If I take my tumble dry sheet away.
Okay,
you might be able
so
to
you can see, there we go. So you can see what Louise has done. So you've got that edge all the way down using that semi-square tool. And if we lift that up, I'm going to just lift that up to that middle camera. Just bear with me for a moment. I'm just going to come in so we can see. So there we go. You can see there how you've got that border all the way along the edge. Okay. There we go. So.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just going to take the pico foam away.
Yeah.
And I'm going to turn over my Groovi mat onto the soft side.
Okay.
Squishy.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn over onto the back. So I'm working on the back now for my embossing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use the number 2.
Okay.
The Groovi tool, or you can use the number 1mm for the Pergamano tool.
I'm going to come in.
Let me just get my magnified just so I can see.
Okay, and so what I'm going to do, Lou, if you just keep that there, I'm going to come in, see if I can come in manually even closer to see what we're doing here. Okay. So just it may just take a little bit of focus. Okay,
that's good.
I'm going to try coming in one little bit more.
Ooh.
See how close we can get.
It's ready for a
There we go.
There we go. So I'm just pressing a little bit and wiggling a little bit. And that creates that little dot. in the foundation course, we'll be going over flower centres, and it's a similar process. You'll be using a back and forth motion up and down.
Right.
But then in the middle, you just want to give it a little wiggle.
Okay. So you're embossing in between each of the little perforations.
I am, yes. So I don't know if you can see. So where all of the, I'm not going to be going into within the 3 needles because I'm going to cut those out.
Okay.
But I'm just doing.
It's like a row, isn't it? An outer row of perforations.
And I'm doing about 5 embossing dots. So one each between the needle tools.
Okay. I don't know why I'm holding my breath. I think because it's such a delicate area.
It is. And that's why we only shallow perforate, is because if you perforated quite deeper than you needed to, what would happen is you'd press and it would tear.
Okay, we're just going to move you up slightly, Lou, because I've come in really close. No, because I came in really close.
Oh yeah, there's not a lot of there. Okay.
And this just adds, as you say, it creates this like lace type effect.
It does, yes.
Now, Louise and I had a conversation before the beginning of the show. Okay, and Louise has agreed to give away this piece of artwork.
I have.
Okay, so, and then we did this the other week in Groovi Tuesday, didn't we? Sort of, I almost completed a piece, and I ran out of time. So what I did, I asked if anybody wanted it, I would send it to them for them to finish and complete. Louise will complete this piece and she will send it to you. But in order to be in for a chance to win this, then all you need to do in the comments is put 1, 2, 3. That's it. Easy as that.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. And then what we'll do towards the end of the hour, I'll randomly go in and pick a winner, so to speak, and we will send that to whoever wins.
Aww.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Happy with that, Louise?
I am happy, yeah.
Super.
Whether the person that gets it will be happy.
I'm sure they will. Okay. So what we're doing now then, so you're now on your super phone.
We are indeed. I'm just going to use my Groovi tool.
And we just sort of come in centrally, because there we go. Is that okay for you?
Perfect. So I'm just going to be using
So I'm going to come in now on this camera.
1 needle bold.
Yeah.
And now I'm re-perforating in all of the holes. So the inside 3 and the outer border.
Okay.
So once I get my eye in.
And would you say this is easier doing it with the 1 needle bold rather than trying to reinsert the multi-needle tool?
Yes, personally, I find it easier. You can get a nice hole from the 1 needle bold. I find that's good enough to be able to do your picot cutting in.
Okay. So is the reason for re-perforating with the bold to assist with the picot cutting, to making the perforation slightly larger?
Yes, I think it's easier when you're a beginner. I think it is easier to use the 1 needle bold because you're able to, with your picot scissors or the perga cutters, you're able to see the holes easier to be able to picot cut.
Right, okay.
When you use the 1 needle fine, it's very, very delicate and you need a really good eye, and you need to be quite intermediate, I suppose, would be the level with a fine needle.
And it doesn't take that long, does it? I suppose because the multi-needle tool has done all the work, what you're doing is you're just going back in and enhancing what's already there.
Yeah, so the holes are all there ready for me, just to, with my 1 needle tool, just to go back into. And I'm not going all the way through with the needle. I'm probably going in about 0.5 centimetre.
Okay.
So it's not, the tool isn't going all the way through, but it's just enough to create same size hole all the way
And
around.
I suppose if when you were working on the back, if you'd accidentally squidged into one of those perforations and flattened it, what this is going to do is reopen it, isn't it?
It will do, yes. And that's always good about having the one needle tool. There we go.
Right, okay, so it's coming on that overhead now. And I'm going to see if I can zoom in again. So let's have a look. Just hold that up. Just bear with me for a moment. Okay, so if we bring that over, that will focus. So this is the edge that Louise has been working on. So you've got the little embossed dots and then the reperforated holes.
It is indeed.
Okay, so I'm going to zoom back out now. Okay.
I find lots of cats running around somewhere when you're working. You take them off and then you forget where they've gone. There we go. Right, so just coming in with my...
So just move forward a little bit, Lou, if you can. There we go. That's it.
There we go.
So Louise is using the perg cutters. We've got 3 different types of Pergamano scissors. We've got the perg cutters, we have the ring lock scissors, and we also have the exclusive scissors. So as part of the foundation course, it's up to you. Maybe you've already got a pair of those at home. Then we will be using those during that 3rd module on the foundation course, which will be on the 16th of April.
So I'm just using the Pico foam.
Yeah.
I like to do my Pico cutting on a surface.
Okay.
When I was learning, I used to hold it up close.
Yeah.
So that you could kind of feel where the hole was, where your scissors were coming through.
Because it is literally just the
tips.
Tips.
Yeah.
So you're doing the centers of those little triangles.
I am, yes.
Okay. It's that snipping sound, isn't it?
It is. It's another relaxing. I find parchment overall very relaxing because all the embossing, the colouring, it's all very it's very relaxing, and I do like to hear the sound.
Okay, so we just move up a little bit there.
Sorry.
There we go.
Okay. Weep.
Okay, so you've done all the little triangle parts in the centre, and now we're working on the outer part.
Yeah, so I like to work all one way.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like to go back and forth, and work along the line, but I like to do one way first and then turn it around and do the other way. But it is very relaxing doing.
And how long would you say it took you to sort of perfect your Pico cutting?
I'd say it was a gradual process. I remember the other day I was looking back at some of my old work on my Facebook page, and I saw a couple of bits of artwork that looked a bit jaggedy.
Yeah.
But I think I took to it quite quickly. I think when you enjoy something, and I did enjoy doing all the Pico cutting, there's some pieces of artwork where I've really Pico cut a lot of the area. And I find with the perga cutters, for me, I can do a lot of Pico cutting with the perga cutters because they're so easy to use.
And when you're snipping, you're holding the scissors over the waist area, aren't you?
I am, yes. Yeah. Always over the waist. I've made the mistake when I first was learning. I did make the mistake of doing it the wrong way around, and yeah, it doesn't look as great. Put it that way. There we go.
That didn't take long, did it?
No.
Look at that. Okay, so let's bring that into the centre. So you'd already done 3 sides just to save a little bit of time, and then what you've done is you've completed, and then just in the centre you've done a row. So you've got that. I'm going to hold this, see if I can bring this up to this camera. I'm going to see what I tell you what. No, hang on. I'm going to do this because it should cling to the Pico foam.
Yeah, okay. And I'll give this piece away. So I'll send it like this, and then whoever receives it, they can put it on whatever colour card they like.
Yeah, because it's amazing how a background paper can change the look of it, can't it?
It is, yeah. I can show that now, actually.
Okay, so go back to the overhead then. So the finished piece that Louise created, let's come out onto this one. You used some sort of like, it was companion paper, but it was like a purpley colour, isn't it, to complement what you've created.
Yeah, in the actual flower. So I had my purple, and I would have just matte and layered with a purple, and then to bring out the whiteness in the work, I've just
put it onto a piece of white. Yeah,
and then it would go onto my purple, and then onto a 5x5 card blank.
So still nice and small for your mini make.
It is, yes.
Yeah, and then just using your brads to attach.
Yeah, just use the brads. Can I use them in all four corners with that? On the plate, it's got a little circle, hasn't it?
It has,
and
yeah.
You can. That would be where you would be able to insert your brad.
Okay.
You don't have to. You could put it on the outside if you wanted to, but it's just there as a guide.
Okay, but then by changing the colour of the paper behind it, you've chosen a selection of different companion papers, haven't you, Louise, to show that?
So I've got a selection here.
Yeah.
So all from all of the different papers.
Okay.
Written on the back, I've got nice pink from Indian Summer.
Indian Summer.
It's like a orangey peachy colour.
Yeah.
That's Northern Lights.
Okay.
Another Indian Summer. It's quite a pale. That would bring out the colour quite a lot of that. Another peachy colour. Lighter.
Pinky.
Pinky peach. And then a green.
And then a green. Oh no, it was that pink, wasn't it? From Shenandoah.
So you've got why's the green there?
Lovely shades of pinks and buff colours, isn't there?
Yeah.
So we just, believe it or not, Louise, it's 5 to 5 already, but perfect timing.
Yeah.
So when you have a look, you can see the difference. So that brings out the pink more, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
And then we'll just slide the next one in underneath.
And you can see, if I put it halfway, you can see the difference between the two colours there. And there's that one. They're very similar. Let's find the other one. That's a darker colour, isn't it? Slightly darker.
So depending on what colour you put behind it can really change the look of it.
It can, and there's so many different colours. A good thing to try out all of the different papers. There's the little companion papers.
Oh, the 4x4s.
Yeah, or the PTC size, either one.
Yes.
It's a good way to find out all of the colours. You can just use those, put them behind. And if you like certain colours from a paper pack, then you can buy the larger ones then.
Definitely.
So that's a good way of doing it.
Wow, I can't believe where those 2 hours have gone.
I know. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
It does indeed. So what we need to do now, I need to choose somebody to that we can send your peony to.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to go into I need to swap screens into the chat. And right, we're in there now. So I'm going to look away and I'm going to, no, don't look, and stop. And the winner is Myra Sanders. So congratulations, Myra. I know we have your address. So what we'll do, we'll get that sent out to you tomorrow from the lovely Louise. Thank you for joining us. If you've got any questions, then obviously, I mean, I can hear Sue on the phone. So she's been on the phone during the course of the 2 hours. I'll get that list added to the product code for the 123 course. I'll do that before I go today. So that if you're unsure, you can have a look and then see if there's anything that, okay, maybe I just want 1 plate or 2 plate. It's entirely up to you. And then, thank you to Grace, as usual, for helping out all the way over in New York and the lovely design team. And then where are we now? So we're Sunday. So tomorrow, Barb's back in the shack at 10 o'clock and it's tea part 2. And we had a chat earlier of what I think Barb's going to go for tomorrow to continue with the letter T. So I'll be in the room virtually with you tomorrow. And then we'll be back together on Tuesday for Groovi Tuesday. Yes. So thank you very much for joining us. If you've got any questions, then obviously you can reach out and contact us either by email. You can email info@claritystamp.com, or alternatively, you can give the office a call tomorrow on 01732 868 215. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I think the sun is still shining out there. Might go home and take the dogs for walks. Don't know yet. They're off to work shortly. So yes, enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow with Barb at 10 o'clock.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye.